What's up, plebheads? I'm Neo, and I'm joined here tonight by my brother,
Mr. fucking YouTube, baby!
Final Fantasy VII Remake, First Class Edition, breakdown and review. Hey, by the way, game comes on 2 discs. If you were wondering.
Really?
Look.
Wow.
You get the deluxe edition with this version, which we'll look at in a moment. You also get this bangin' Sephiroth Steelbook case. You get the Hardy Daytona Cycle, Cloud Strife figure, both PlayArt's Kai figures. You get the hardcover art book, the mini soundtrack CD, plus some digital DLCs.
Summon Materia DLC.
Yep.
Alright.
So what's actually in it? Game, art book, soundtrack, steelbook, this. That's the deluxe edition, by the way. So the only difference is these 2 figures.
Really?
Yep. Well, Jdog,
Well, how
Let's
much is
see-
the deluxe edition?
let's see what they want for their deluxe edition. $80.
Wait, go up.
$80.
So that deluxe edition at $80, I mean, if you're not going for the figure, guys, that deluxe edition at $80 is an absolute buy. An absolute buy. Okay? You're $20 more than the price of the game. You're getting a rock star level steelbook. Probably the best steelbook. Might even rival the Doom one as far as quality, with Sephiroth on it. Of course, one of the greatest villains ever. So for me, that steelbook is just epic. I love it. You get that hardback art book, which we are always valuing those hardback art book covers at least $10 minimum, probably 20 if it's got more than 10 pages in it, which it probably does. The mini soundtrack CD, I'm not sure where we go with that.
I'm $7.50.
Yeah, that's probably 10 absolute maximum. When they say mini, that bothers me because I don't know how much soundtracks what I'm getting, right? So you got to be careful there. But still, you're getting $20 there easily. You know, that leaves out the DLC stuff, right? You still got an awesome steelbook and a hardback art book. So for me, the deluxe edition here at $80 is an absolute buy. No questions asked. That is an absolute buy. So, what are we looking at here?
PlayArt's card
My
figures. Like the Squall you bought me.
Yeah, so it's posable. Now, they give dimensions here in millimeters, ladies and gentlemen. Really important that we figure out exactly how big of a figure this is.
156 millimeters to inches, 6.14. I'm talking about the Hardy Daytona.
So that's wide, so that's that way. 6 inches wide. Okay? For that bike.
By 27 millimeters deep.
Oh, they're talking width as in this way, and they're talking depth as in this way.
16.8 inches.
16.8 inches long,
It's
basically.
a large fucking motorcycle.
Yeah. Because that's 427 millimeters.
And 175 is 6.8.
6.8 inch height. And then you can look at the height and double it almost. So you're at about 8, I would do that 267, 9 inches high with Cloud sitting or standing on it.
Cloud is 3.7 inch width.
Depth is going to be
48 inch depth. 48 millimeters, so 1.889 inch depth.
just about 2 inches wide.
And 267 on what?
On his height.
He is 10.5 inches.
So that's a good fucking sized figure.
Yes, it's like the Squall I have upstairs.
Yeah. So you've got a pretty good figure here, and 2 of them, to be honest with you.
True. The bike is huge.
Yeah, the bike, the depth, what they call depth, or we would call width, I think, of that bike,
It's the height.
right, is fairly, at 427 millimeters, comes in at 16 inches.
That's about this big.
I mean, so that's solid. That is a big fucking
It's a large piece.
Where's your price on it? You know, those play arts. What did we pay for that Squall?
You got mine for $130. It debuted at $150.
Okay, so it's a $130-ish figure.
That's from Squall.
Just Squall.
Yeah.
But that was bigger than 10 inches, wasn't it? That was 14, I thought.
I mean, or it's 12 or whatever.
So a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But you're still at least, in that $100 range?
For the two figures together, I'm $225. No.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Wow. All right, and I'll go $200 on it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. You know I don't usually pay a lot for
I
figures.
feel I lowballed.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm thinking probably more like $250.
Really?
Yeah. The fucking bike is huge. The bike's probably $150.
But the bike doesn't move or do anything. The bike is just a stationary thing. It's just very well detailed. It is a large piece, though. But it doesn't have it's not thick, right? It's just long, right? So, but it's a solid piece. There's no doubt about it.
What did I say? $225?
Yeah.
I stand at $225.
Okay. If I valued this at $200, that's high for me. You know, I mean, I don't value figures that much for shit usually. But I mean, that's really the whole entire price of this collector's edition, guys, is going to be based on what you're willing to pay for this figure.
I bet you it is.
Because no questions asked before we even talk this figure. You're looking at the deluxe edition at $80 with everything else in it. Is an absolute buy. No questions asked.
Let me ask you this. That deluxe edition, what would you pay for it? What would you value it at without seeing the $80 price tag? Would you have paid $90?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Would you have paid $100? Art book? Steel book? Amazing steel book. Soundtrack?
100 is getting very high. I think 90 would be tops for me.
But would you have paid $90?
I wouldn't have been outraged at 90. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't have been outraged. Look, if I put $200 on that figure, I mean, that is a lot for a figure for me. There's probably got to be some fandom in there for me. I do like it. I do really like it. I want this at $250. I want it at $250. Right?
You just priced
No,
the
I'm saying I
figures
want
at $200.
No, I said I want it at $250 to make it feel like I would just like literally pull money out of my wallet and just like shove it into my computer screen right now.
All right, would you buy it for $250?
I'd be very fucking tempted.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
because I have some major.
Do you want to cancel your Amazon order that you're saving $13 on and buy the deluxe edition?
I don't think so, but kind of.
Just wondering.
I don't think so, but kind of.
Yeah, but maybe. Maybe not, but maybe.
So I wanted it at $250. I gotta.
Well, you wanted it at $250, but you know you're not getting that.
I know.
That is not going to happen.
All right, I'm giving $299 maximum value on this.
You're giving $299, what you should say expected value.
$299 maximum value. That's where I feel comfortable with this. More than that is starting to push it really high for the figure, and then you got to really start to ask yourself if that figure is absolutely worth it. Because,
but remember, you only priced $100 for each of those figures. And remembering that you paid $115 on a ridiculous sale for that Squall figure from me.
I like to get things on sale.
I understand that, but this is day one. You're not going to get it on sale.
But I'm looking at value. I'm
true,
a value
true.
buyer.
Fair.
$299 puts $200.
So you give $100.
$299 puts $219 on this figure combo. I mean, come on, dude. How much am I paying for plastic here? He doesn't even have big tits.
God damn it, Jason.
But he got a big sword.
You know what they say about having a big sword?
What do they say about having a big sword?
You have a big dick.
Oh. Neat. I'm $299 absolute maximum value.
You ready?
I'm ready. $329.
So in your case, there's $30 worth of fandom.
They're asking, how much are they asking for that figure? Take $80, they're asking $250 for that figure.
Yep.
That's what you got to ask yourself, guys.
Would I spend $150 on Cloud and $100 on a motorcycle?
Basically.
Or vice versa.
Yep, basically.
And if you can justify that to yourself, I give you permission. Only because
$250 on that figure.
Figures. It's two different figures. It is two different figures.
It is. So
it's not. It is not one package
No.
that comes like shoved together.
No.
It's,
Yeah.
So you can see that it is two different figures.
So Cloud can fit in any action pose seen in-game or on or off the bike with the included hands, unparalleled play arts, Kai articulation. So, depending on your level of love for that play arts Kai, can you get to $250 for those two figures? If you can...
Here's the thing.
If you can, then this is a buy.
You'll notice that the Squall you bought me is one of the only posable figures you see in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't like them. I personally don't care for them.
Yeah.
I loved the Squall figure, though. Something about it spoke to me. We talked about this in our...
Well, you're a big fan of Final Fantasy VIII guy.
I am. It's my favorite game.
Yep.
But my point is, something about that figure spoke to me. We talked about that in the Cyberpunk breakdown. That's why I had you get it for me. I love the figure.
I think for a lot of people, and I was kind of thinking about this before we did the video, right? You ask people that are gamers, you say, hey, do you play Final Fantasy? They say, yeah, I've played them. You say, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? I don't know too many people that don't have Final Fantasy VII in their top 3, right? There might be some people that like Final Fantasy VI, right? Or Final Fantasy VIII, or 9, or whatever, 10 even. But a lot of people, you say, what's your top 3? Just about everybody has Final Fantasy VII in their top 3 somewhere, right? Including me. Even if I value the figure at $200 or $219, right? Can I get to $30 for fandom here? Personally, yes, I can. So I don't see this as a ripoff. I do think $329 is enough for it.
$329 is the ceiling.
Yeah, it's enough, no doubt. But you look at the figure, it is a very well-articulated piece. It can be posed very, very badass on that bike. I like it. The sword looks awesome. That's very important. Hair looks good. It's a good piece. I mean, you gotta give it some value. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people are going to be able to get to $250 on that combination of figures to make this worthwhile. I don't think this is a ripoff. I think this is fair. I think it is at the high end of the valuation. But if you want it, you'd have my blessing. And, of course, being a Final Fantasy VII fan, I can understand where you might be able to give that extra $20, right? Or $30 even, that comes off the top of where my top-end valuation would come in at. So, for me, I can justify it. $329 would not be outrageous for this. You get a great steelbook, you get a remake, obviously you get the deluxe edition of the game, get the art book, and you get 2 awesome figures. So, yeah, this gets my blessing, believe it or not.
Now, as I want to have something to show you. Got a 1/8 scale of Saber here. It's from Good Smile. This is not Play Arts Kai. And that is a $206 figure. So you can understand.
On a bike.
On a bike. So you can kind of see what we're looking at. And this figure is nowhere near
the quality.
Well, maybe quality-wise, but it's nowhere near the size.
Yeah.
Remember, that bike is 16
inches.
That's a gigantic-ass bike, dude.
Yeah.
So that's my point. That's the point I want to make to you. Just so you have something to compare it to.
Yeah. Yeah, you really don't have, you don't have a terrible deal here, realistically.
It's a large piece that's going to look really cool.
And it is. It is going to look fucking awesome. It is for an iconic game. That's next to that steelbook is going to be neat on the shelf, guys. I'm not going to lie about it.
Yep.
It might just be outside of my price range personally, but I don't think that I would be, yelling rip-off if you were to buy this.
Let me ask you this. If we had seen $299 when I revealed the price, what would you be saying?
$299 is my top-end valuation where I'd feel really comfortable with this. Again, you're pricing in $30 for fandom. I'd say, honestly, for somebody like me, really grew up, this is one of my first role-playing games that I really remember playing and loving. And one of those stories that you still think of to this day. $30 extra, yeah, you can live with it for something that's this kind of integral to your gaming life, so to speak. So, for me, this is not outrageous. I think you can get this and you can be happy with it. And again, the value maybe not quite as good of a value as we saw in some of the other sets that we've done, but certainly that figure is very, very cool. There's no doubt about it. When I first saw this, I said, "Damn."
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I do. I like this.
Yeah, remember when we were watching the trailer the other night when they revealed it, we're like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
You know, like that was the reaction you're supposed to have.
It is a very neat piece.
Yep.
I think if you are looking for a Final Fantasy VII item to have, again,
Art book,
$250 is what you're basically paying for this figure.
soundtrack, steelbook, deluxe edition content,
When you look at what you pay for some of these other ones, it's not that outrageous.
and you get a bonus Summer Materia DLC with Carbuncle that you don't get in the deluxe edition.
Great. I'll give $1 for that.
Fucking best collector's edition ever. Must buy.
Yeah,
I'll be interested,
I think
Jdog.
you can get this, and I think you can be happy with it.
I'll be interested to see what the
fair
plebs
value.
think about the Final Fantasy VII Remake First Class Collector's Edition. Give us your thoughts. Feel free to break it down in the comments. Let us know your price valuation. Like the video if you enjoyed this honest breakdown and review here, and we'll see each and every one of you right here on the Bowling Plebs next time for more content like this.
And remember, guys, when you're looking at this and you're thinking, am I going to get this or am I not going to get it? The question you ask yourself, do I pay $250 for that figure? Figures.
For those
Figures. If you can say yes there, you've got yourself a good deal here.
You're welcome. GG, you plebs.